I see it with a clear eye.
So I hustle.
Mama's house to Penthouse.
Y'all boys was out there with Hiram Style today at the toy drive, right?
Rodeo Dental,
Okay.
back to school gym.
They be doing some work.
Gym
Give it to them.
I'm about to go get some teeth pulled.
Yeah.
So I like the way and we just working with Rodeo Dental, but I like the advertising that Mint Dentistry is doing in the city. Not sure what they're doing in states and everything worldwide. I wonder what is it like to run a worldwide radio campaign like 3,000.
Might be different now.
Right.
I mean, the video ads is different. I'm pretty sure radio trying to catch up as well. Then you got podcasts like Spotify.
Yeah, you got to share the market. I don't think it like split the prices in half or nothing like that. It's just
I'm saying you got to probably, because if you go into a radio station in a city, if those radio stations are owned by like the same corporation, it's probably easy just to be like, put me in these 7 cities or these 10 cities.
Right.
Versus if you have to go to the different companies that own the different radio stations. I don't know how the radio stations are broken down across America. So I don't know, like, maybe a lot of the radio stations that you might want to be on are owned by the same company, right? Like Radio 1, I know owns a lot of different networks. I think they own 97.9 and they own 102, for example. So you probably could just go to them and say, boom, I want that.
Right. Spend one big thing and then you can get it in bulk. I was thinking 3,000, 4,000. I wonder what $3,000 can get you, because I'm sure it works like I would put together my budget and walk in there and say, this is what I want. And I know that they would be able to accommodate me like, hey, I have this much money, $500,000, $600,000. I'm trying to make sure that this plays this many, like for this long, for the next year.
They probably got inventory though. Like, we got 30-second commercial this much, minute commercial this much.
Yeah.
So you could be like, I just got hit.com or somebody, you running ads. Running ads.
But you at least went to them with a budget. They like, okay, I know what I can, like, we're going, all right, for with that 5, you should
be able to do this.
Yeah, go ahead and make 6 commercials.
And then they probably do it by time slot. Like, it's more if it's prime hours, if it's peak hours, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I seen you been on the streaming too.
Oh man, streaming on me, man.
Yeah.
I like that streaming. Somebody said today, what they say? What he asked, I think he's like, how long you been streaming, or what made you stream, or what got you into streaming? I can't remember what it was. Mm-hmm. But we've been in real life people, bro. It's like everything is in real life. Like the camera is natural. Some people freeze up on the camera. I used to freeze up on the camera and all of that.
Did you?
Yes, bro. Hell yes, bro. Like
live camera or like?
Absolutely. I used to be shy. And I still don't. I don't want to like. I still I don't know. Back then, yeah, like I wouldn't have got. I remember not wanting to do a taco, like a karaoke. Karaoke is gay to me though. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here, bro? Like, but that's not really true, you know. But like I guess it's not streamed. Like, can we stream this? Like, can we
under 5 numbers?
Yeah, like
I ain't said that in a long time.
Yeah. I ain't even, no disrespect to my karaoke DJs. I just,
they heavy on that in Japan.
Oh really? They fuck with the
karaoke.
Karaoke. Fuck karaoke, man. I'm finna get in the booth. I encourage you to get in the booth too, man. Get you some music out there. But nah, that's all I'm thinking about. It's just,
Yeah, nah. That streaming, nah, that's huge. Y'all need to tune into those streams, because they're gonna start growing and you're gonna be like, man, I was there at the beginning. We started streaming. You streaming tonight, right?
Yeah,
I'm saying it like they gonna get this tonight. But Saturday night, you'll probably be streaming consistently.
Yeah.
And they can see you live streaming at the club. I think that's gonna be
eventually every day will be streamed. I come from a background where everything is not streamed, so I think I'm gonna have a nice balance, like a good 5-hour piece of my day. Mm-hmm. And then I understand how to cut the stream off after 2 hours, take a break, get it back on at another location. because I understand what I'm doing anyway. Like my long-term strategy with the streaming is to create, have an abundance of content, like YouTube content and shorts for my personal brand. So I'm doing 2-3 episodes of things while I'm doing 2 to 3 episodes of stuff while I'm streaming. So it's really beneficial. And I like we talked about the last episode, I came up on social media and we get a little bit of revenue from social media, but I'm ready to raise the revenue up directly from social media. Like I want to add the social media. I want to be able to add social media revenue to my business operations on a daily because we're really good at producing our regular content. Like we're good at producing content. So I want to produce more and more and more of it and more of it. Once you got like a little system, you want to keep adding to it. Like the fitness program system. It's like, all right, I already wake up, stretch. I might as well go work out.
For sure.
I might as well add a
I stretch every morning. I hit the stretches. I know a lot of people don't like to stretch, but I'm running like I'm still in high school right now. The stretching shit really helps you out. So all y'all who know, y'all know. All right, you ready to get into our Penthouse Plays of the week? So first Penthouse Play of the week, Best Buy is going smaller to grow. So CNBC reported that Best Buy's incoming CEO wants to grow by going smaller, leaning into smaller format stores. The lesson here is that great entrepreneurship is not always better because it's bigger. Sometimes the next stage of growth is simplifying the model and reducing overhead and getting closer to the customer. I think this lesson here is a great lesson if you're starting out now, because a lot of times when you're building, a lot of people think, man, I just need to bring this many people in, but you need to bring an efficient system in so you can have each person that you bring in, they're a lot more elite.
Keep it simple. Kiss it. Keep it stupid simple. Long as it's working, you know, it don't have to be, you know, in a PDF form, and you know, if you got it written down somewhere on a napkin, man, make sure you meet with the team, give everybody, take a picture of this napkin, man. This is the instruction. You know, keep it simple. You know, whatever the process is, keep it simple.
Do you think that we're going to be doing these big 70,000 person organizations now? Like, do you think it's still going to be doing that? Because a lot of the companies are laying people off and stuff like that. And I think it's because as AI is coming in and you getting robots and stuff like that, the future may not even be having an organization with 50, 60, 70,000 people, but you're still getting the same output because of the nature of technology.
Right. I think a lot of the, if you do desire to have an organization with that many people, a lot of the people that are going to be a part of your organization are going to be like affiliates and like influencers. Like
that's a good point.
You're going to have a lot of and
so not the old model of like you're a W-9 type employee or something like that.
Right.
You're more like contract with me. We're all working together to get something done, but we're not necessarily employed by like you got the benefits and stuff like that. Kind of like they're selling their skills towards you.
Right. Like the contracting work that VBS helped with Hiram Style and Rodeo Dental, just providing some of the team members to their it's going to be a lot of that going on. Hey, we got a lot of streamers that could come and stream over here. We have a lot of material.
Just resources.
We got a lot of resources. We got a lot of stuff that you can use.
That makes sense to me. All right, number 2, founder burnout is becoming a business model problem. So TechCrunch covered a London hacker house trying to rewrite founder house culture by taking a stand against founder burnout. This gives a more human approach to the entrepreneur topic. Business media loves the grind, but burnout kills decision-making, consistency, leadership, and creativity. I think this is something that we've been talking about doing everything. You get burnt out, but you never get into the mindset of a real founder that doesn't want to do everything, but learns the lesson of getting things done in opportunity.
Think about a car burning out. It doesn't work anymore. An engine that burns out, a computer that burns out. It is not. You can't load up new information now. It's done. Burnt. Maybe after a time, and burnt out is strong term because when something is truly burnt out, it's very hard to revive
When you
it.
burn out a bulb, it's gone.
It's gone. You can't change the bulb after a while. You gotta go to the store, get the bulb, then you back in the revive.
You remember
But
that story from elementary school, the goose that laid the golden egg?
I think it's very easy to have amnesia if you keep burning yourself out because you won't you know what I'm saying? It's like business amnesia because I'm burning myself out. So I don't really remember what I did last time, so I'm about to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah. And that's why I think that in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, they talked about that story, the goose that laid the golden egg, because he was getting golden eggs and then he tried to overproduce and he cut the goose open trying to get the eggs out of it and killed the goose. I think that's what burnout really is. You're killing the goose that laid the golden egg. So if you get burnt out as an entrepreneur and you don't get people to help you with a lot of this stuff, and it's so easy to find people nowadays, you just get burnt out and that kills the company because you're the founder. And if you can't keep going, you're the lifeblood of it. It's just gonna die.
Yeah.
And at least until you get to a point where it completely runs without you, where you bringing in another CEO or something like that. So you have to think about these things. So it's a real thing to not get caught up in that culture of thinking that you're supposed to be doing everything. You're supposed to always be working 18 hours a day. Okay. So FIFA scrapped the private equity World Cup plan. So FIFA backed away from its controversial plan to sell stakes in the World Cup profits to private investors after backlash and boycott threats. This is a broader business lesson about monetization, brand ownership, and stakeholder trust. Not every asset should be financialized just because it can be. Now, this is something that I think goes down to the different philosophies of building a business. I think a lot of times when people think about their assets, they can be too far in one direction or the other. Let me give you an example of what I mean. A lot of people want to own 100% of the company. They don't want anybody else to put any creative input. They want everything. But then they'll have a business where they're not able to bring in talent. They don't have any partnerships, so they stay stagnant for a long period of time.
Yep.
I was surprised to learn that Jeff Bezos owns something like 15 or 17% of Amazon. And that's crazy to think about, but Amazon's probably the biggest company in the world. So that's just because they're willing to diversify. But that doesn't mean that everything has to be like that. I think it's a balance there. What's your thoughts on that, D?
It's I'm thinking about Amazon. What was the question?
Well, just basically saying, it wasn't necessarily a question. It was just, I was just asking, what's your thoughts on the idea of like, you got a brand and always feeling like you need to like diversify. You get what I'm saying?
My bad. I'm thinking about Amazon's fulfillment department, like how they got logistics. I always be thinking about their logistics department. But you the statement there, Best Buy is scaling down. Amazon is doing.
One thing I'll tell you about Amazon,
No,
for sure.
Amazon has nothing to do with.
No, it was just talking about, so this was talking about FIFA scrapped its private equity. And then the whole point was that just because something can be financialized, it doesn't have to be, right? Because they got a lot of backlash because the World Cup, you know, was just here in America. They were selling private equity in it, but they actually walked that back because they're like, man, we could actually monetize this by like getting a bunch of partners in, right? But they were killing their brand by doing so. And the point I was just making was that like a lot of times we're growing things that you've talked about, for example, building partnerships with people. Yes, that's something you can sell parts of your business, maybe to bring other partners in to, you know, speed up and accelerate the business. But it doesn't mean you should always do it. I think there's a balance. People are either too far on the extreme either way to me. Either I'm 100%, I don't want nobody in, or I'm willing to like sell anything. I'll sell my mom piece of my mama if somebody paying. And I think that there has to be some middle ground. I was just asking, what's your thoughts on that?
I guess it makes sense. I started thinking about how Jay-Z rented out the Yankee Stadium recently. And they allowed him to put like Rock Nation signs on the top of the Yankee Stadium, like which shows that they're obviously they have different ways of thinking about it, like and I'm thinking about like taking private equity is like that's somebody like that's not like that's for sure not a marketing package. A marketing package is a basic like, hey, let me get my name on the top of these stadiums and stuff. You saying they were taking investors, and they don't want to do that no more because basically investors.
I think the people start boycotting. They wasn't really for like, because the thing is, if you bring in private equity, that means that somebody has a stake in it, so they have some type of say of what's going on.
Right.
So that could dilute the brand, because if I come into your brand, say I come into VBS, you sell me a stake, and I got a completely different idea of what it should be. Yeah. I could come in there and be like, man, you know what?
And you got to run it.
Change this.
Yeah.
Because me and the stakeholders own this much. So a lot of times that's what I think people are talking about when you're trying to make everything something that can be sold when it's could be something that you should hold on to. And then I think on the opposite end of the spectrum, don't get too rigid on that, because some of the best companies that exist in the world are actually really large partnerships.
Exactly. So it's hand and foot. It's like you can look at it both ways.
Yeah. And that's your Penthouse Plays of the week. So that was a pretty good little run there. I think this week, a lot of the plays are centered around some of the same themes about what the internals of your company look like. So I think that this will actually lead really nicely into our Mama's House mail. Mama's House mail. So this is Kayla from San Antonio, right in Texas.
San Antonio.
How do I balance patience with ambition? I don't want to rush the process, but I also don't want to move too slow.
Balance patience with ambition.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to rush the process, but I also don't want to move too slow.
Yeah. I like to take action, man. I don't know. You can get sloppy for sure, but shit, like just be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all you can do is what you can do anyway. So like, you shouldn't be like making no irrational decisions like, I'm gonna drive over here today. It's like, you can schedule it. Yeah, you can schedule it for Wednesday when you're going that way, and then like knock it out. Like, you don't have to make hectic decisions, but there is no point of waiting on anything. There's nothing. Wait, like, and there are things that like, and practically from a task standpoint, in order to get this done, you might need to get that done first and all of that. But I'm saying you don't need to wait on nothing. You can still start something. You can start going on that. And then you're a lot of times you're doing 5-6 things so you can get to this one larger thing. And then like there's 5 larger things. So I like to think of like shit like Papa Do's. There's always something to do around here. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing to wait on. Why would you wait on anything? It's like, that's my mindset. And I think it creates, that doesn't create ambition to me, but it creates like the action. It creates like forward progression at all times. Like, I'm just thinking about certain tasks and shit, you know, and attacking them.
I think the whole thing, when I hear these questions, it's just the nature of the thinking behind the question, right? What is fast and what is slow? And it really goes down to what is fast and slow for you. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this, right? If you go into, say, a profession where it's necessary for you to get in front of the camera and it's necessary for you to speak, right? That may be a little bit easier for you because you've already developed these skills. So if you got into that business, it would appear that you're moving a lot faster than everybody else. And from the outside looking in, I think we have the tendency to compare ourselves to other people. So this is why we get a false timeline of how long it should take in the first place. Who says you're rushing, right? Because you could be working 18-hour days and you're not making much progress. But I don't think that people would say that you yourself are moving slow. The external world of what's actually being accomplished is not moving that fast. And I think that takes a lot of time and a lot of immersion to be very strategic with your time. So when you're strategic with your time, what that means is, okay, I'm gonna wake up today. I'm focusing on the things that will move the business forward. But to even answer that question, you may have to acquire more skills and more business knowledge to understand what would move the business forward the best today, right? at one point when I got up, I thought that what would move the business forward the most would be me getting up and learning about business. So most people get up, they're watching YouTube, they're watching motivational videos, and they believe that they're moving the business forward. Versus at the current moment, I'm really talking more about things like opportunity costs, getting me out the way of a lot of tasks, because that's the point I'm at in the business. So at one point, when I didn't have much business knowledge, I felt like learning more actually was moving the business forward faster.
Yeah.
But then at another point in time, that's not moving the business forward faster. So I think that a lot of times what it comes down to is people have to really get out of the idea of comparison, right? You're going to enter the game at a different point than somebody else. And you may, in order to get to whatever your goal is, you didn't specifically list any goal of what you're trying to accomplish. There may be skills you have to learn in order to get there, and it's going to take time. But if you compare yourself to another person who may have some aptitude of already being good at that, then their journey is going to look a lot faster than yours. So I think the first thing is mentally to just pull yourself out of comparison for a second, as if you're trying to get somewhere.
Yeah. If you stuck looking at other people's, you know what I'm saying, situation, you're going to definitely be tainted. But you still can have a general mindset about it. Like, slow is like, there's like, you know, you can get things done. You can get things done fast. You can get them slow. I don't know what.
Well, I'm pretty sure there's things you want to accomplish still right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So don't you feel like it's kind of like that? I'm waiting for a Christmas present and I'm trying to do things as if I could make the actual day come forward, when it's like you just have to wait till the day happens. There's not like anything that you can do to make the actual day the present is going to get here any faster.
I think the only thing that you can do is like think about better ways to get to that point, which like it require you to like kind of like it requires you to think about different things to do,
being more efficient, basically.
Yeah, because it's not just going to come to you. You have to do something differently and everything like that. You have to. And then I haven't had a huge different, like a break that's just been outrageously different from everything else. We've made cool amounts of money and everything, but I'm just going off of my experience with everything. When the newest and the best things happen, I changed my mindset and ultimately just took action towards another area.
For sure.
And you can't do it in a hectic fashion, but you can.
Not in hectic fashion.
Yeah. You can wake up in the morning and focus on the 5 things that need to be done. You can knock those out. And you can keep doing that. Or you can wake up and not focus on them and kind of knock them out, like knock 2 of them out in a week. Just do the normal things that make you feel better, like
100%. I think so I've been reading the book Letting Go.
Chilling, smoking.
So I've been
talking on the phone, whatever.
I've been reading the book Letting Go again, right? One of my favorite books of all time. And I think one of the things I've learned about a lot of this is a lot of it's not more that you need to do. It's a lot of what you need to let go of. The reason I mentioned the comparison part is because I believe that what slows people down, it's like my grandma used to always say, if you do it right the first time, you won't have to do it again. And I think that a lot of people's grandparents or mothers or parents probably told them this because it's so true. There's a great quote from the book, An Iron Will. He said, how do you get more done than most people? He said, because I only do it once. Other people do things 3 times. And he was basically saying they do it 1 time and like thinking about it, 1 time worrying about it, and then they finally actually do it. And I think this is what really slows people down. If you really want to be very efficient about your growth as an entrepreneur, there's been so many times when I was starting off, I would think about something so long. I go talk to other people trying to build confidence to do it. And I wouldn't count that time in my head. But that's really what was slowing me down. But if I just was like, I have an intuition, it could go right, it could go wrong. I'm just about to go take that action. Then it would have sped up my journey a lot more because I wouldn't have been doing that rumination like, well, maybe it's right. Let me go ask what's his name, see what his thoughts are. Or let me go ask these people and see what the thoughts are. So the ambition may be there, but the balance to me comes from the fact of you're removing all the junk that slows you down from moving forward. Yep. Most people could get there a lot faster because they have so many thoughts in their head. And this book is so great at just breaking it down, some of the thoughts you have. For example, if you ever seen Dr. Hawkins' scale, it's all the different emotions that you go up through the spiritual scale. And one of them that I think most entrepreneurs are stuck with is fear. Fear is one of the emotions that really alive to fear is something that we can't identify. So let's say 7 tasks come across your desk and these are things you need to do. This is something that a lot of people won't admit. One of those tasks is more important than the other. I think in your business right now, if I put a bunch of tasks on the board, you would say, hey, that one's more important than the others. Yeah. The difference with you now at this point, you being the entrepreneur you are, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that what wouldn't factor into any of these tasks is your sentiment about it. So let's say I've got a task, I need to go, I'll give you the one that we've had to deal with before. I got a cold call, I've got to make a new flyer, and I have to call somebody to cancel a subscription. We know this one's the most important, the calling, right? Mm-hmm. But the calling comes with an amount of fear. Like I might be scared to do it. So in my mind, what I'll do is say, man, I'm about to work on these flyers all day today. Yeah. And I'll do 18 hours on these flyers when I really didn't do the thing that I needed to do. And I feel like if you could just voice in your head that this is the real fear, and you can knock these out over and over and over again, every time the most important task, then you would move yourself forward a lot faster. Yep. It's going to take as long as it's going to take. When I was learning the language, I heard somebody say that, and I thought that was profound. It's going to take as long as it's going to take.
Longer if you don't recognize that you, like, this is the one that you need to do.
Yeah.
That's what you're not going to, that's why it's so hard. Nobody can tell you what to do. You have to really be trying.
What have you done to overcome that kind of resistance? I'm curious about that. Just the resistance to doing like what needs to be done.
Gut. You go with your gut. That's what you should do. You should go with your gut. And I don't like talking to nobody either. I just want to try it because everybody whack, bro. Everybody. You're one of the most intelligent people on earth. And there's people that'll walk us down and debate, dig all that. I'm just trying to say we some live niggas. But everybody make it look better than what it actually is, bro. Nobody, I don't give a fuck how well put together a motherfucker walk in the room, pixie cut, suit nice, cuff ties, the answers in their hands. Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what they got, the pamphlet. I don't give a fuck. It's all situational and it's all just like it's all
it's a fugazi.
I wish I could make sense for you though. Like the best person is the person that just left the field. Somebody who understands, somebody who just finished doing it. Mm-hmm. That's the best person to talk to. Somebody who just finished doing it.
Somebody immersed in it.
Other than that, everybody makes it look good. Now, there are people out there who just finished doing it and they're live talking about it. They're you know what I'm saying? Communicating about it. But the main thing I do is just follow my gut. Like, I go with what the first mindset and try not to talk to nobody about it. Like,
have you ever had periods where that was difficult for you?
Yes. Yeah. Hell yeah. Like, habits. Let me call P. That's gay, bro. Like, stop doing that. Or let me check with ChatGPT. Just do it, bro. Like, you know that you need to download this. The biggest fear is to outsource. You know, you need to download Upwork, message a nigga, and just do it. That's what I do. I just do it, and I don't want to talk to nobody about it. I don't want to be like, damn, I don't even want to hear a nigga talking about it really on YouTube. If I'm going to go to the YouTube video, I'm really listening for keywords. I'm not listening for any word that I understand. I'm not listening to it for that. I go watch messy videos for entertainment. I'm not educational video. Like, I don't want to actually hear nothing other than like underneath the settings. That's where all right, bet. That's where it's at. Bet. Now I can go play around with it right now. I got my computer. I can go log in right now. I don't have to talk to nobody. I don't have to do nothing. And I be getting real-time data. And a lot of times I'm stacking up conclusions. I'm on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th thing at this point. Because I took my first mind. I didn't make it confusing. But I do get to walls. I think everybody get to a wall. Like, you get to a wall. And I think that is environmental. I think the moment you remove yourself and put yourself in an environment with people that just naturally be just on some like, bro, let's just build countries. Like,
that's a great point.
Let's just build countries. That's why I am in the middle of fixing everything so I can move around and go. I got my apartment in New York. I want to move around from Houston, New York. I got the Vegas spot. I got that. I got all of my spots where I do my gigs, and then I got like three vacation spots where I go to. But I also probably got some work there. I'll be setting up my booths there for my rental for the Cowboy VVS and everything. So I'm just trying to say, like, man, is it's just the
it makes sense.
The environment is next. Yeah. The environment is next. That's why it's the next thing.
It makes sense to me. And I think there's two aspects of this. What are you really looking for from people when you actually call them for advice, or you're reaching out to people for advice? And I've always said this about, I know we answer questions on the show, right? But it's one of those things, I think, that at a certain point, you're looking for somebody to give permission to what you're doing. And the reason you want to do that a lot of times is because if the failure happens, you're able to say, well, I was listening to these people online. Why do you think there's so many people buying these courses and being like, oh, they scammed me, right?
Well, just in general, the fact that you buying the course, that's the type of student you was. Mm-hmm. They changed you 6 times to 6 different social studies teachers. You fucked it up 6 times. That's who you was from the jump. You take a motherfucker that just is grateful for the opportunity, really came from nowhere. Like they take him in Steve.
And some of these, and of course, there are people who do scam courses. I'm not acting like it's not. But what I'm saying, how can we have certain courses that people like, man, I made millions, this changed my life, and people took them same courses, and instead of just admitting, you know what, there was something about me that I need to grow, they just say, nah, that person was a scam, and everybody who succeeded from is in on it. They just scamming other people. And I think that this is the whole thing I'm saying about looking for validation when it comes to your success. Following your gut is not just a cool statement, in my opinion. I think it's really the core of what all of this is when it comes to balancing your ambition and moving forward quickly, right? If you want to move forward the fastest that you could ever move forward in business, then you're going to want to follow your gut. And your gut is always telling you something. Your gut is telling you, man, write them and ask them a question, so maybe I'll get something back. Once you get this back, you should be like, my gut is telling me to go get around these type of people who believe it can be done. The gut is always telling you this, but your fear is going to say, don't do that. That's a little too scary for us. What'll happen if we try that? We might get rejected if we do that. Because here's the thing I know about the mind as I've studied this over the years. And this is a very interesting thing if you think about it. The mind actually can't, your thoughts, it actually can't conceive of something new. There's something else inside you that conceives of something new. Your thoughts are just shit you've seen over and over again. So when you go to other people, let's say I go to somebody who's never ran a business. I say, man, you think I should do this? In their mind, they can't even conceive of how this could be successful because they haven't seen it themselves, right? Mm-hmm. The whole thing about going on this journey, you have to understand there is a gap between what you've seen is possible and what is actually possible. it takes a lot of faith in the beginning just to say, you know, I'm gonna go with my gut. I believe this can be successful. And then I'll just figure out all the pieces in between. That is true entrepreneurship. But to your point, there's also another shortcut. You can go get around people who have already done these things, and through osmosis, through being around these people, you get courage and inspiration because this person tells you, man, you think I'm able to hire it? Yeah, it's nothing. All you can do is just download this app.
Just do this.
Just do this.
This is what we do every day.
What they're actually doing
yeah,
is cultivating belief. This right here, this question, is the same question so many people have. That's why I wanted to answer this question is what you're actually trying to cultivate is belief. If you want to move faster, moving slow is not a product of skill. It's a product of belief. There's people who take these massive leaps in life because of belief. I always tell the story when I moved out the house for the first time, everybody said I shouldn't do it at that time. I was going to strain myself too much. And then I just did it. And then from that point on, I've never really worried about that again. But it took, for me at the time, for some people watching it, probably not a big deal. But for me at that time, you got to understand, somebody who had never, ever paid more than $500 for something, I was going to go pay rent somewhere every month. Mm-hmm. That at the time was a huge leap for me. And then I just did it. I didn't have any evidence or anything like that. But when you got around other people, it's like, nah, bro, it's nothing. Yeah, just go to work every day. It's nothing. That's
what we do.
And I realized it was nothing. So the whole point is after that, you start getting higher and higher. Now you're paying payroll. Now you're paying business expenses. Now you're paying insurance. Now you're paying all these different things. And it was just a matter of mindset. Napoleon Hill famously said, whatever the mind of man can believe and conceive, it can achieve. And I think that the whole point of why this takes so long as an entrepreneur is because we have to go through so many iterations of ourselves and doubting ourselves and wanting validation from somebody else, having an idea that's probably a good idea, or at least if it's a bad idea, if you just went and did it, you would learn extremely quick why it's a bad idea, and then you move on to the next idea. This, to me, is the core of how you balance it, of understanding that the second you learn to listen to yourself and do the ideas, that's not, let me backtrack a little bit.
It takes some time.
Let me backtrack a little bit. Because I want to say this. I don't know if we said this before, but I want to say this. There's two types of advice that you're going to get on your journey in life. Advice of process. If somebody has a better process, call me right now. I'll listen to you. You got a better process, a better, more streamlined way to do something. If I'm trying to hire people, you're like, you can hire them faster if you did this. You can record the videos faster if you did this. You can make the video.
Trying to connect your microphone to.
Yeah. If you connected them this way, it'll be better, right? Fine. I'll listen to that all day because it's advice of the process. Advice of purpose, that is the thing that a lot of people get hung up on. I can't give you purpose. I can't give anybody purpose. There's nobody on this earth I can give purpose. They may say, oh, you gave me purpose, but that is them projecting, right? They use me as a soundboard for permission to give themselves purpose. And I think that's the whole thing that has slowed entrepreneurs down for years. It definitely slowed me down for the longest because I think about how instead of making a decision, even when I was ready to move out, I went around and asked a bunch of people. I could have made that decision that day. Think about what I'm saying. It took me an extra week. Now, it's not a lot of time. It took me an extra week on a decision I could have made the same day because I wanted somebody else's validation. And when nobody gave it to me, guess what I did? I made the decision anyway because it's what I wanted to do. I'd already said it. I think it was like a month or two before that I said, I'm moving out this October, so I'm leaving. Yeah. I was saying that every day. And so now the decision comes and all of a sudden I'm like, well, you knew what I took. The decisions will sit there. You know what to do.
Yeah. That's why I like to just decide, like, go with your gut. Your gut is saying probably should start working on outsourcing this. Mm-hmm. All right. So my next mind, damn, who? All right. Then you start thinking, all right, damn. So you got, all right, I'm gonna ask old buddy. Then I start mapping out how much it's gonna cost and how much you just go with the flow of it. And then we already got marketing meetings already set up. So I'm gonna just talk about it there. And then it's like I'm gonna add it to the pay, or like you keep it going.
There's a threshold I've discovered.
Yeah.
And tell me if you've seen this as well. When you don't make a decision, or you're just on the fence about a decision, the mind starts inventing reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's going to find them, right? But if the second you had a thought, you say, I'm going to do it, the mind then shifts in a more productive mode. Like, well, this is how we would do it then.
Yeah.
The mind itself is only following you. When you identify with your thoughts too much, thinking that your mind, whatever, if I say pink elephant, you thought of a pink elephant, it's not, it's just an association thing. When you look at these spiritual books and stuff like that, people think they're just like fairy stuff and stuff like that. But there's actually another part of you, the part of yourself that can think about a thought that you have. You have a thought, say it's a very negative thought. You can think, oh, that was a negative thought. What is that? Mm-hmm. There's something that's deeper. And the same thing goes with your thoughts. If you keep letting your thoughts control you just because you had a doubt, your thoughts came up, you had a doubt and thinking that's you, then you're always going to be controlled by that. You're able to talk yourself out of stuff, which slows you down. Most of the mental gymnastics and the mental frameworks that people have to go through, the hoops that your mind puts you through, that's what slows you down the most. That's why people can't find balance, because most of the time you're just second guessing decisions. You're second guessing what you're doing instead of just doing it, right? If I have to walk to the other side of this park over here, right? The easiest way to do it is just keep stepping forward, step after step. Yeah. But if every step I'm like, should I take this step? Should I walk to the left?
What if the gate
Hey,
closed?
You over there. What do you think I should do?
What if the gate closed? Let me call my cousin, see if that gate be open on Sunday.
It's going to take us days.
He going to say, man, I think that gate be closed, bro. It looks open.
Yeah, but I think it'd be closed.
I think it'd be closed. Man, it's like that dude, well, it do look closed. It's like, see.
Yeah, maybe I should chill on this.
Yeah.
And it's a simple example, but I think that's the whole of it, right? It's more of you getting into your mindset that the goal here is not to actually learn another skill. When people ask these questions like, how do you balance this? You're asking for a mental thing, but I hear permission in there, right? You're asking for us to give you some type of magic thing that's going to allow you to, whenever you come up against a decision, you'll be able to understand what to do. And we can give you that. Because I'm going to tell you, you already have it. Not something we're giving you. You already have it. And it took me so long to do this because I think that in life, one of the greatest tragedies is that we give other people's opinion and other people's thoughts authority over us. We believe in other people's thoughts and what they think about things more than we believe in our own heart. And I think that's ultimately what I've seen with entrepreneurship. If you wanted to wrap up most questions about, I'm struggling to execute, I'm struggling to do this, I'm struggling to do this. If you called in right now and said, look, I don't have a tool to build my funnels, that's a completely different type of question. You're not asking for validation of if you should do something or if you should go about something. What you're asking is, do you have any tool recommendations? Yeah, and I can give you a tool recommendation. Process. So when you get into the process realm, oh man, it's a beautiful place because people are just giving you advice of process. I remember one time I was trying to learn how to hire people and you said, man, the best thing to do is just put your price out there. It may be low and they may say no, but just put the price out there and you're in negotiations. Yeah. It's a lot quicker.
That's the power. People don't understand the power in a place like Upwork. I'm seeing DDG talking about camera people. Mm-hmm. When you understand a place like Upwork, people are listing their price right there. So now you can negotiate.
And you still can negotiate that.
Yeah. It's fundamental. It's to a person who hires, he'll see that and be like, because all he has is a budget in his brain to get things done. So it's like when I see a certain number, it's like that's all you looking at. You're like, oh yeah. So that's something that makes things hard for a person who is like, what I don't know what the price is gonna be. It's like that's one of the things that makes buying anything tough or looking into investing in anything. I don't know what it's gonna be. You don't need to know. Yeah. You don't need to know.
Well, I mean,
just
the whole
go to
thing
the
is
store. You'll find out when you get there.
The whole thing is that what you just said is it though.
Yeah.
That willingness to go into the unknown and do something before you know everything. That is entrepreneurship. That is the captain of a business.
You should be looking for areas like that in your business. Like every day you're making decisions where you're doing stuff where you already know what to do and all of that. That's not the sweet spot. I understand what I'm doing. Every time I'm doing a task that's like repetitive task work that I haven't outsourced yet. It irks me so bad at this point in my career because of what I understand. Like what I understand I'm doing. Like I'm not even helping my family out.
Yeah.
Like it's not even you're not even doing you feel like you going hard, but you really not.
You said something earlier. You said you hit these plateaus, and I think that's what it is. I've noticed that you'll hear talk like this, you'll get motivated and say, I'm gonna listen to myself. And then I'm gonna do that thing that I was scared to do, right? Then you'll do it and you'll have this massive like boost. And then a couple months pass, start looking at social media, start looking at certain stuff, and then it happens again. You start slowing back down into the rut. You forget. And I think the whole thing about entrepreneurship and life I'm learning is a process of stopping the forgetting. You know what I mean when I say you forget?
Mm-hmm.
I've watched old episodes.
Burnout causes business amnesia. And burnout comes from, but the best way to burn out something, I know from working in the field, is to keep doing
the same thing.
And it's not about just the same things, because you can do something you're passionate about and never get burnt out. That's a big difference.
But that's a conceptual thing.
That's a big difference between doing something that needs to be done. We're talking about you own a business and content produces eyeballs, which produce revenue. Mm-hmm. You can't gamble with that type of stuff, bro. You can't. How could you live?
I think the whole thing is I've watched old videos and I'm like, damn, I was saying that, right? Amnesia. But then I'll say this.
The only reason why you will forget is burnout.
We get on the internet. You know why the internet is the gift and the curse to me? I don't know if anybody's ever said this, right? People who are willing to put themselves on camera and give their opinions, they're very certain of their opinions usually, even if they're wrong, even if they're right.
Thanks a lot.
But here's the thing. When you go out into the world and you see somebody, you look at somebody on camera and you see their opinion, they're so sure of their opinion. We have the tendency to fall into their way of thinking, right?
Yeah.
Which gives less confidence in ourselves. So when somebody's succeeding doing something, when somebody's doing really well doing something, they're like, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be waking up and doing every day. Then you wake up and trying to do it, and it doesn't work for you. Now, some people, it does work for them. It does get them to a certain point.
Right.
But the truth is, at all points, there is no, if you ask me advice of process, I can tell you, hey, there's a better way to get leads. Hey, get a lead magnet. Get your lead magnet. Lead magnet is going to give some value. They're going to get on something like a call, a webinar, and stuff like that because they saw your lead magnet. Done. Very simple. It's not even rocket science, right? Lead magnet. What can the lead magnet be? You give me any industry, I can give you a lead magnet for it pretty quickly. Oh, you're in pest control, whatever, right? Here's 10 ways to make sure that you don't attract roaches or ticks or fleet, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody who has that problem is going to say, what are the 10 ways I can do it? But then what's going to happen is they saw that your business gave them stuff, and then they're going to want to work with you in the future. It's very simple. I'm saying it's a very simple process. It's not difficult. People use lead magnets all the time. All the top business people will tell you, use a lead magnet, right? But here's the thing. Somebody else will get on here and say, you know how I changed my life? Getting up at 6 o'clock every morning. That's what I did. I got up at 6 o'clock every morning. That's how I changed my life. And they'll be adamant about it that you need to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you try to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden you start just not functioning as well as you usually do because you've drifted off of process-based things into purpose-based things. And I think that there's this courage that you have to have as an entrepreneur to go out and really figure out how you're going to carve out the path because
it is a bit of a carving mechanism because all day things are going to be getting spit at you on the radio, Instagram, your podcast, this podcast. And you do have to determine, didn't need that.
Yeah, what do I need to be focusing on?
Didn't need,
man,
give me that.
You know the one.
I think it goes back to your gut and being vulnerable, understanding that you don't know everything. You have some. I remember Nana Bender told me, but there's nothing I can learn from you. It's not true. You can.
But that's what I'm saying. But look at that. Even that.
Yeah,
even that is slowing you down.
Yeah, it will just slow you down.
When people are looking at what's slowing them down, they're looking at, the customers are not coming in quick enough, right? But why are the customers not coming in quick enough? Are you closed-minded? Are you stuck on an offer?
It's definitely a mindset thing. That's what I'm grateful to understand at this point in my career. If something is not going the way I want it to go, all I have to do is think about it differently. So I can kind of go back to like, damn, I don't want to be editing. All right. That's not going how I want to go. All right. I don't have to think about not wanting to edit. All I got to think about is, all right, instead of thinking about it like that, that's a natural thought, but I don't have to resonate with that thought. I can now go back to the drawing board and say, okay, now
This is powerful.
this is what I do.
What do you think the thought was, though, that made you not? Because this is, you see where I'm going with this.
Exercise.
Well, what I'm saying is this.
Mental gym.
I used to go with the hiring people, right? I used to look at prices of the people and think those were the prices. So I would put this price in my head and say, man, they're not going to do it for that, right? And instead of just sending the offer, I would have this thought that they wouldn't accept the offers I sent. That thought right there was the thought, what I would call that was holding me back, right? So the same thing with the editing. What do you think the thought was? What is the central thought that's like, why you couldn't outsource the editing at the time? What do you think it was? Was it like a cost thing?
Remember, I think I was adopting my environmental thoughts. Like you were saying cost, so I just was on it. That's why I started being very adamant about not listening to what nobody talking about.
Another great point.
Because you was on that. I'm like, I don't even operate.
But that's
like
what
this.
I'm saying.
What the fuck is this?
So
like, I don't need the
a person could be confident in that, and you buy into it.
And you buy into it just because you're in the environment. So that's I don't mean no disrespect when I say
no.
I know you know.
This is what I'm trying to get because
get to the point. I don't mean no disrespect when I say I'm not listening to nothing nobody talking about, you included.
But
what
here's
that
the thing.
means, I'm listening with a grain of salt because I'm picking up what I need to pick.
Advice of purpose, advice of process.
Yep.
You know what you need to do. I don't know what you need to do.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying, why that was a great exchange to me, is because it's driving home the point I'm talking about with these type of questions, right? I feel like people answer these questions, they give this insight. You gotta believe in yourself, right? But why are you not believing in yourself? Because somebody, even if the information is wrong, right? About costs with what's name, right? That was a limiting belief I had at the time. And I was passing the limiting belief off. You not believing in a limited belief created realms of possibility that we didn't know existed.
Right.
And this happens with everybody. So if you're friends with somebody who's really pushing life forward, they're gonna have limiting beliefs in some areas. You're gonna have limiting beliefs in some areas. But if you're good friends, you push each other to get past your limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
What I'm doing right here is trying to push you past your limiting belief to understand that the slowdown is here.
Yeah. This is what hard-headed means.
Yeah.
You are hard-headed. It's like you hear something that you know you need to do, and you are purposely not doing it.
Yeah.
And like you know you need to do it. Like you just like, man, I'm gonna edit today.
And you're using everyone around you as excuse, right?
That's why I am communicating with a grain of salt. You're not getting nobody. I don't want to be in nobody world for longer than 30 minutes. Fuck it.
Because my whole thing is this.
Because you got too much time to talk to me, and now you got too much time to lay impressions on what I believe in. I don't have any time for that. I don't fuck with nobody that much for you to be like swaying my delusion. I would like to be ass wrong, because at least I know that I'm going to go into the field and then figure it out. I'm not taking nobody word on nothing no more. Fuck everybody and what they got to say about it. And I only mean that I'm about to go and try it myself. I'll then come back and give what I just found out. And only time that I'll listen to advice of process is from a nigga who comes back. So I just left Airtable. He just left the field. I need a nigga so I just left Twitch. I just logged out of Twitch, and they got this new.
And we have a powerful moment right here.
Yeah.
With everything he said, you might have to do something different.
Yeah.
I want you to understand that this to me is the core of entrepreneurship, right? We are going to get here, and we're going to get to a point of confidence and understand that there's a path we have to take in life. to me, the energy when we get on here and niggas say, man, fuck everybody, fuck what's going on, right? It's the right energy. And the reason it's the right energy because it's a nigga forging his own path. And if you forging your own path, that ultimately is what the key to this game is. The world has to be dominated by your mentality. Your mentality. I learned a long time ago, not even a long time ago. This is a recent realization I came to, that everything doesn't require defense. Even when stuff seems like it's aimed at me, a lot of times I don't do it anymore because I know 90% of what people say, 90% of what people do is just projection.
Yeah.
When you watch people and speakers, pay attention to this from now on. They're going to emphasize the things that they're working on, the things that they're going through at the time.
The deeper you are in their environment, the more of a I do it. You come over here, like you in my house. I'm finna tell you about exactly how I feel.
Yeah. And it takes a lot to understand. This is what I'm saying, separating from thoughts. If you say things to me, right? My brain hears them. So it's going to start making thoughts based on them.
Yes.
Right? So if I don't have a strong sense of reality, I've just made the decision I'm going to do this. I put a whole strategy together and I come over and be like, you say, no, what, bro? I don't think we should really use funnels that way.
Yeah.
And my mind going to go, man, he said we shouldn't use funnels. Man, I know I just set up that strategy. Maybe I shouldn't use funnels.
Right.
This deliberation in your mind, this is the problem. And because we can't sit across from each other. And this is why I feel like people are not really friends a lot of times. We can't sit across from each other and understand that whatever your soul came here to do, maybe slightly different from what my soul came here to do, right? I don't have all the answers for you. I can tell you a better process.
That's all.
But all I can do is help lead you to an understanding of what we're talking about right here. You need to follow this. And the whole thing is what I've learned is that's why I don't, when people say certain shit, you notice people will be saying certain stuff. I be around people and they be like, well, you know, we be doing this and we be doing this. I used to feel a urge to say, I don't be doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even feel that anymore. That's just a person working through that process. I'm going to go just do what I'm doing because inspiration, example is stronger than argument.
Yep.
I'm going to say that again because this is a lesson I had to learn.
Yep.
I don't seek to change people through argument anymore.
Some people go places, man. Some people go places knowing that they got opportunities to argue, fight. Mm-hmm. That's why some people can argue and fight everywhere they go. And then there's some people who just,
man, even if they go into a hostile environment, they don't.
Yeah.
The environment doesn't bother them.
Yeah.
Because of what they're emanating. And that's what I'm understanding about the game. Like I really appreciate what you dropped today because I think it illustrates the point, right? Even as I've been around people, the goal of a great teacher to me is not to make you dependent on me, not to build an idol to me, not to build an idol to DJ. The goal of content like this is to take this, use it as inspiration to get you started because we all start somewhere.
This is fundamental too, what he's talking about.
And then after you've built enough confidence, you say this.
You should be able to.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm about to figure out my own path.
So a good personal trainer will not keep you on fitness subscription. You can get a fitness subscription of an ebook. You can get a fitness subscription of a meal plan, but you cannot stay on physical fitness subscription. A real personal trainer will tell you this because a real personal trainer will not keep taking your money. They'll tell you, your motherfucking big back ass gonna get this shit together in 6 weeks. And you got 9 to 10 to maybe 12 at maximum to get this shit together because what I'm about to give you is a process. I'm about to give you shit that I be doing. So out of this shit that I be doing, you finna figure out shit that you like doing. Mm-hmm. Just because I said get up at 6, if you got this shit done at 9, who's the fucking, like, you know, that's...
It might be your schedule. We know people work at night, like their whole business don't happen till night.
You got it done. That's the most fundamental thing. That's why a good trainer also tell you, good job, you're here.
You know what my ideal pathway, we know we got the UBB.
Yeah.
You know my ideal pathway to people in the UBB is? You start off, you need help. We all did. You get in there, you do your business stuff, right? You get a little bit better. You get like some software, you get some programs, you put your business together. And one day, we can sit face to face as peers.
Yeah.
Not, you this person and I'm this person. We can sit across from each other as peers because you've gotten to a certain level. Some people, they may not want to do that. And that's okay too. I want that to be very clear.
Not mandatory.
I want to be very clear. You're an entrepreneur, so we're talking to entrepreneurs on this show. So that's why we're talking like this. But if you're watching this, I want you to be sitting on a podcast someday telling somebody, hey, you need to believe in yourself. I want you to sit across from me as a peer and say, hey, let's do some work together because now you've built your own confidence. And that's the type of people you want to do business with. That's ultimately what my goal is for anybody I meet. For the people who don't want to accelerate like that, the people who don't want to go to that level, I have no judgment for them either. Because there's also something to be said about, going to get your job and having everything thought out and organized, and they're living a happy life. So there's also something to be said for that. So there's no shade to anybody on that end of the spectrum. But I'm saying to entrepreneurs, I think that this right here, this, however you like, if you like it in an aggressive way, pause. How you were saying it, fuck everybody, fuck this person, fuck this nigga on the couch next to me opinion. If that's how you have to do it, use that. If you're more like me of understanding that it's more of a letting go. So my whole point is I understood that I had to let go of the anger inside of me that needed to argue my points instead of just going and do the things I said. Mm-hmm. I felt like if somebody said something different from me, I needed to argue with you because it made me feel like my point was valid.
And mine is the typical like schoolboy problem. You calling your teacher to see what they think about the paper. It's like, nigga, turn the paper in, man. Like, create a class or like, I'm talking to myself. I ain't talking to everybody. I'm saying like, that's standard stuff that everybody wants to do. They want to call somebody.
They want to be a good boy.
They want to be a good boy. Like, I want to get permission.
Good boys and girls.
I want, like, what you think about scaling, though. Like,
you know what? You can scale.
Yeah. Or
you can scale.
Or me, bro, I'm waiting on cash flow or something. It's like, damn, I don't want to wait on that. Like, I got somebody right here.
I'm saying it's contextual. It's too contextual, right? The reason mentorship works better than a course is because context matters, right? A problem is not necessarily wrong from one opinion. If you're in your business every day and you've got oversight on your business and you say, this is what the problem is. And then you adopt that in your business, which is at a completely different place. That's not your problem. Then it doesn't make sense. It's like we're trying to look for a blanket answer. The whole thing is, and you said it, right? The reason you have to trust yourself is because as a leader of the industry, everybody's looking for you to have that. That is what holds people back. The only reason that, and I know this, the only reason that I wasn't further along is because part of me still wanted to prove something to people. And trust me, when you're sitting around needing to argue with people when they disagree with you, like somebody say, man, I don't think that shit gonna work.
Meaning it's Friday. Mm-hmm. I ain't argue with a nigga all week, nigga. I'm finna call my favorite group of arguing niggas.
Man, I ain't gonna argue.
Pull up.
I ain't gonna argue,
nigga.
I'm not gonna argue in a relationship.
No, I don't.
Man, between me and you, sometimes when I be with people and they saying stuff nowadays and I disagree, I don't even care no more.
Bro, like, no, listen.
I've been through enough of the stupidest 4-hour arguments.
Dude, I'm so cold at this point of my life, I don't even play about my environment at all. That's why I don't live life without a car. I don't give a fuck if I'm in New York. Nigga, I understand.
Well, you can get on that subway in New York. You can get out of there.
Still can't really control your environment. I'm so aware of controlling the environment. This young lady that I'm communicating with, we're getting to know each other and I'm helping her understand, like, I don't do well in play. I can't be somewhere
Mm-hmm.
for longer than 30 minutes. So this is something you got to think about when you're dealing with somebody like me. I don't know if you want to call me a celebrity. I don't know what the fuck you want to label me as, but mentally,
I am whatever.
but I think it's some spiritual shit that I'm speaking on right now. I do not do well in other motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck if it's a restaurant. If it's not my people's restaurant, I do not do well in it. I'm not saying I'm emotionally unintelligent, like I'm cursing out everybody in the environment, like fuck all y'all, fuck all y'all, fuck you whole ass nigga. It ain't none of that. I'm more so just saying, because I'm not saying I need to, I don't want this to sound like I'm a control freak. I just understand.
Well, you're not telling them they can't go to him.
I ain't saying you can't go out. Oh,
control freak would be like, no, I'm not going. You can't go.
No, nobody's going. I love you enough to enlighten you on why I understand the importance of being. It's why people don't want to wait on certain things like what I be talking about neither. Like I will have multiple restaurants, multiple things, like all of these things.
I just fell in some mud.
Yeah.
What happens?
You muddy.
The whole thing is we don't think that's true of the mental. Yeah, so what you're talking about is not crazy. I'm telling you. If you put up the David Hawkins scale and they talk about the different emotions, they talk about the dominant emotions. You got people at shame, you got people at grief, you got people at fear, you got people at pride, you got people like the different levels, right?
Yeah.
What I've learned is when you walk, everybody had this feeling, right? And if you haven't, I find it very weird. Have you ever just walked into a place, you just feel it's negative?
Yeah.
Nobody's talked to you.
Yeah.
Now you just feel it's a place you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's not fake. That's not magic. That's a real thing. When I walk in certain environments, I can just tell it's tense. Yeah. Back when I was in the hood, we walk in certain parties, it's tense. You know it's probably going to pop off in here. You just know it.
Just feel it.
You just feel it.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes people get in certain environments, you see, let's see, you're not even in it, right? You see one group walking, another group walking. What you do? Oh man, I'm about to hear that, man. They probably about to shoot this shit up.
Why I prefer creation, more of this. I'm gonna put more. Who is Country Cowboy, the album, because at this point, man, I cannot afford to not be in my own environment.
It's a vibrational thing. To your point, though,
I do not do well with miscellaneous conversation. Like, hey, how your mom?
Just imagine if I ran up on you and just threw some sewage in your face.
Yeah.
Right? That's literally what's happening when you're going to random environments. And we live in the world, we're gonna run into it, right?
Yeah.
But that's in passing. I'm not gonna go into a sewage plant and start swimming in it.
Nah.
And this is not to talk, I'm using sewage as an example. I want to be very clear that I'm not saying I'm better than
environment.
No, I'm not saying I'm not saying I'm better than people. Like my environment's better.
Just say every environment other than my environment is sewage. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah, so it's not a better or worse thing, because that's a way of interpreting it. What I'm saying is that I understand if I go into an environment, people are gossiping, people are being negative.
Yeah.
Some of that's gonna get off on me. All of us go to Instagram, you might see something messy every once in a while, but it's not the whole of what your day.
Think about this, bro. Like the environment, everybody is gossiping. So you have to gossip. So that's emotional.
Or you become something that the environment wants to attack.
Yes. Like damn.
Damn, bro. So, you too good to gossip with us?
I understood because of that's why I don't do well in other environments, because you have to pick up on what other people do. And if I don't like it, I won't do it.
Well, if you don't pick up on it, the environment starts to want to attack you.
It starts to shun you. It starts to be like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
X, Y, Z and everything. So it's why I know I can't do well.
And that's what I'm just getting the point. That's actually some high spiritual shit.
Because
a lot of people think
I only got that level of knowledge because of how I grew up. I don't think people had as many friends as I like growing up in Houston. I'm not finna go down memory lane, but
you ain't be that.
Yeah, it's like it was a lot of. I had a lot of. Growing up. One of the things I used to think that was cool about me as a kid is that I had a group of baseball friends. I had some football friends. I had my track partners. I had some people that was straight up gangsters. This is what they did in the morning, in the afternoon, after school, recreation. they was able to catch the metro home like when they was like 6, 7, 8. Like these is like kids that, you know what I'm saying? Like I had multiple groups of friends.
Okay.
Like multiple groups of friends. And very quickly I learned that about what I'm talking to y'all about right now. Like hanging with these niggas, you're gonna have to be on this type of time. Because you're gonna get your bitch ass slapped if you not. This goes for
they can't be fighting and you don't fight.
Bro, if you can't be playing, if you can't be with the stars, the hoopers, the actual athletes, and be on that bullshit, they gonna shun you out. What are you doing? You eating? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You like a star athlete, somebody that's really serious about the sport, hates hanging around a motherfucker that is just trying to get a scholarship or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he passionate about it.
Like, and I had people on my line. Nigga, I think I signed with a school when I was like 6. It's people out there like that. So they passed like the scholarship. So think about that type of person talking to you. They don't want to talk. They can't afford.
It's
their parents understand that. This is why the star quarterback couldn't do the same shit that y'all was doing. They couldn't go to the skating rink and
everybody
shit.
Doesn't understand that because we all cross each other's paths in the world, right?
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned is why I don't argue and stuff like that is because each environment, and this may sound like some esoteric stuff, but I could show you stuff where people talk about this. They got all kind of crazy names for this. Maybe in another episode, I'll go deeper on that, right? But you'll notice when you go into an environment that's not your environment, the environment will start trying to provoke you. Like, you remember Boondocks, they had a nigga moment? Mm-hmm. It's like, you're perfectly rational and somebody like tries to get you in the fight. I always talk about Maserati Man to people. You showed me something that day, some real spiritual shit.
I remember I got another one for when I was with Boxy one day. I had to tell her that.
But I'm going to say this, you could tell it too, but you want to tell it about the Maserati Man?
No,
I'll tell it because from my perspective, so you can understand how I saw it. So me at this time, I think I had my pistol on me too, right? Yeah. We're from Texas. It's not even shocking. We're from Texas.
Yeah. Your government.
I wasn't out here on trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Still pink.
But we're from Texas. But anyway, what I'm saying is I walk up, he in the car, you sitting in there.
I'm in the middle of the street.
No, you're not even in the middle. This is why a very important point. Easily could have went around you because you would just like if the Uber stopped or something like that.
So the phrase in the middle of the street is like
it's gonna become relevant in a second.
It's exaggeration because in Texas we got a lot of lanes even in the middle of the street. It's not like no Cartagena, Colombia. It's like so we got 2 lanes per street. So I'm not at a light.
You're not blocking a driveway, nothing. It's like you could go around.
Right, but I'm on the right. I'm on the right hand side. But if you're not at a light or if you're not like if you're not turning in, technically, from you know like
you had the hazards on. I'm saying every signal to be like, hey, bro, I'm just waiting for somebody.
Yeah.
Right, the Ubers do it when they pull up. They turn the lights. That's what I'm saying. So I'm walking down. He honking, right? I don't think you hear him really, or you think he ain't honking at you.
Or maybe I did. Because a lot of times I don't do road rage. I think road rage is
like, he just tripping.
Weird. Yeah.
But he pull around. You just go sit in the fucking street.
I think he might have even added a bitch ass nigga in that hole.
Nah, he ain't go that hard. Then you went.
You might have pistol feed him.
You went. My bad, bro. I apologize.
Sincerely.
And he went.
Bro, but the man, he did the man like as if like in synchrony with the statement.
Yeah.
He was so discombobulated.
He was ready.
He knew this nigga came outside for some of that work.
Yeah.
And he had the pistol. If I was just a tad bit more rational, we could have took it there all night. He was ready. Maserati Man was ready. Mm-hmm. He pulled up.
He probably had one.
Yeah, he probably had one. It's Texas. It's big old Texas.
Yeah.
It's big Texas. So I'm pretty sure he did.
Now,
I wouldn't pull up with my window down talking to a nigga on some road rage shit without, you know what I'm saying? So I would imagine, but I'm just trying to say that, but that, I don't have that.
My point is.
Yeah, I don't got it.
My point is the environment tried to provoke you.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't give in to it, it can't do anything.
You discombobulated.
This is what I realized this a long time ago. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. I realized, back in the day, mean mugging was a thing, right?
Yeah.
And I realized if you really own that, you can get into a fight every day.
Yes.
It's so easy. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times you walk in certain places, you just chilling. Hood places, right? I ain't saying you should go pull up in the worst environment and pull into the apartments. I'm just saying you're in a place that's adjacent to a hood. You're at a Walmart next to a hood.
Yeah.
You see some hood people. You just don't look at them, bro. A lot of times, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Unless you in maybe like some gang territory, you got the wrong colors, but like nothing. Just like you just furniture to them, right? Yeah. If you walking through like, it's like because I know what you thinking. You walking by them, they looking at you, and your mind goes, "Nah, not me. They not about to look at me." And that's like think about where is that coming from? Where is that thought coming from? So it came from somewhere, and it's provoking you. It makes you crash out. That the whole situation I'm talking about is what I'm saying. The difference of lifelines you can go to is that if you just would have reacted one way differently, that whole situation would have went a completely different way. Yeah. And that could have ruined our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Right there.
You taught me a lesson that day. And this is why I'm talking about process. You taught me a lesson that day, but also was a spiritual lesson that you do not have to respond to the environment. Why am I trying to prove to a random person? We don't even know who that person is.
I saw a post that said 14 years ago, I'm finna go running. I be running every day, y'all. I smoke a little weed. That's cool. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily think like real pound for pound. I'm not a boxer, but I just think because of my endurance, I don't really think nobody really wants to like tussle with me. Mm-hmm. I don't think you want to. I think if you have to, you want to fight. You'll fight me. But you shouldn't just be like, yeah, that's the nigga I want to fight. You know,
you're not putting out that energy.
Yeah, not at all. So I'm just saying that to. I don't think Maserati. I don't know.
What I'm saying is, when you're in certain environments, if I go into an environment, I go in the hood. Eventually, I'm gonna be expected to adhere to what this environment is doing.
Yeah, you got to.
And so what I'm saying is, eventually, what you have to understand is you have to do something that the environment doesn't expect. And when it doesn't expect it, you didn't respond, you have to play by the rules. Think about snitching, right?
Yeah.
In order for the whole construct of a lot of crime to stay afloat, people have to make a silent agreement that I'm not going to say nothing about the crime.
Even on the opposite parties. Like,
what I'm saying, even people who not involved in the crime.
Yeah.
Will just be like, I am a mind my business. I'm not going to say nothing, right? I know y'all boys stole that down there. I know y'all out there on the block selling weed. I know y'all over here selling stuff I know what y'all do in the front of the store, right? Everybody has a consensus that we just not going to say nothing, which keeps it all together. If one person says, nah, it's going, if everybody starts saying, nah, you know what? I'm not going to play by the rules.
It was always funny to me when Charleston White came out with the, I'm going to tell on y'all, because I had been telling people this. I think this is one of the things. I figured this out about the hood niggas early on, because I figured out that if like that instantly eliminated me from even being able to go on the mission. So like I'm just over here by zip code, gentlemen. I just want to play some basketball. Y'all finna go run a mission, but I'm gonna let y'all know before you go. Shoot me to the crib.
But here's the thing.
Shoot me to the crib before you do that, because if you take me, I'm gonna let you know. I do not want to go, and I got baseball practice in the morning. So if it boils down to it, I'm going to tell.
But you see,
I was always afraid of my dad. So that nigga was going. I had to see that nigga by the end of the night.
Wasn't he father?
I had to.
But here's the thing, though. This is what I'm saying, right?
Had to see that.
This is what I'm getting at. Every environment has rules. And if you don't adhere to the rules, you eject from the environment, right?
Yeah.
You didn't adhere to the rules. What I'm saying is even all this stuff that we look at requires almost like a mass delusion from all of us in the environment. I remember reading this thing about kings and subjects, right?
Yeah.
They said it's almost like everybody's participating in a mass delusion. Like, oh, this is the king. When at any moment, the people, and it's happened before. It's happened a lot of times in history. Like they just killed him.
Bitch ass nigga ain't no king.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the same thing with every environment you're in.
This is why.
You walk into the environment and say, oh, I'm in zip code this. That means I got to do this. I'm in this environment. I got to act like this. Oh, this person is talking. Well, I got to follow what they're saying. And we don't realize how much of the time we are being hijacked from what we're actually trying to do in life.
I'm at a point in my life where I understand I do not do well in other people's environments. I cannot thrive. And I can partner with you and we can create an environment together, but I just cannot come and kick it at your house for or even at your, and like I can, I like family.
Environment got to be similar.
Man, I don't care what it is. And this goes for everything, man. I'm not trying to be rude, man. I got an hour for it. I got an hour for it, man. And it's for spiritual purposes only. And anyway,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm just not going to certain environments.
Anyway, you see me longer than an hour, my people were there, like-minded individuals were there. I probably have a lot to do with curating the environment. So I'm able to understand, like, I got 9-10 people that's like-minded. So like, if I fall off into a conversation, I'm not finna be talking about.
It's just certain stuff that's not gonna happen in the environment.
Certain things that's not.
If you go to certain parts of the world, certain plants don't grow there.
Certain things not happening over here, brother. That's just what it is. That's just how.
So to answer your, we went long day, but to answer your question, Caitlin, we always like to give you something practical, which I think we started off with, but we always get to this point where the thing I'm trying to tell you is just like, you gotta trust your heart at some point. Like even with content like this, you gotta use this content for what it is and get to a point where you're like, I'm not moving too slow, but you're usually comparing yourself to other people. But I am telling you want to move faster. What we're talking about is the key. Not giving in to the environment, because the environment is telling you that, oh, you should be doing it this way, or you should be listening to this, or you should be doing this way, when it's like your heart is telling you do this, do this, do this, do this. But then somebody called me like, man, I gotta talk to them on the phone. I gotta listen to them gossip. See, most of what I'm saying is people like, you saying I gotta turn my back on these people. I'm saying I haven't had to really turn my back on anybody. I just stopped going into the environment. I'm still cool with the people. But at the end of the day, I don't have to pick up the phone and gossip with you for 5 hours. I don't have to do that. Yeah. To be your friend, I have to pick up the phone and gossip with you for 4 hours. If family members are messy, I don't have to go where y'all being messy.
Some environments have unwritten rules.
Like all environments have unwritten rules. And when you go into the environment, you'll start adopting the rules.
Yeah, so, like in this environment, bro, we spend 4 hours a day on sitting on FaceTime with each other.
I don't have to hate the person.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't go play
he ain't putting his FaceTime.
If you play video games, you pop in the disc or you load up the game and it has rules. NBA 2K has different rules from Call of Duty. All these games have different rules. They're completely different things, right? You can pop in the games you want. And then if you can realize in real time when you have a decision in front of you, that usually the reason you're not doing the decision is somebody else's thoughts from a long time ago, some friend's thoughts that you listening to, some other environmental thoughts, like you made a great point, you picking up stuff from the environment is telling you, maybe you shouldn't do it for this. And then you just do the thing that your heart is telling you, you'll see that you move a lot faster. Because that's the real thing that's making you move slow. It's not none of this other stuff people gonna tell you. It's not because, I'm rushing too much. I wake up, I want to work on my business, but sometimes I understand some of the things I'm working on in my business are busy work. I'm just doing it. Then I need to be like, what I really need to be doing right now? You know what I really need to be doing? I need to make this system so I can bring this person in. Yeah. Okay, I brought this person in and made this system. What do I need to do right now? You know what? I need to be cultivating more leadership in my business so I can have more people who do more thinking for me. Yeah. So all these things are different things.
So what does that mean? I need to call somebody. I need to talk to this person.
But I know this. Yeah. But if I go to the next person, even my close friend right here, because he's doing something different in his business, so he might be emphasizing something different. It's not that because when you give me advice of process, I'm going to listen. Right? If it's something I can do better, if I come ask you for advice, I'm all ears. But what I'm saying is, to your point, you're going through different aspects of life. I don't know how your business with your personal life, with your relationship is playing into the decisions you're making. So now I'm trying to make a decision based off these things, not knowing these factors that you have. And now I've made a bad decision for myself. Right. And now, worse than that, and this is the last thing I say, and we can give our final thoughts. Worse than that, I'm also in the back of my mind trying to blame you because I took your advice that I didn't have to in the first place.
Think about the person that gave that advice. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's time, that was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was just a waste of time. When that's why my advice to anybody to cut the conversation shorter is to take some action today.
Yeah.
Like what you thought you should do, because it's 1-3-1, and then you know what to do, so pick it. Stop. I don't know.
What you thought you should do?
You know what to do, babies. This is what I know. Even a fucking infant. I remember being an infant. I remember playing infant as an infant. I remember doing baby shit, knowing like I'm a baby. Don't you remember doing kid shit, knowing you was a kid?
When you say baby, when you saying like 2-year-old?
I remember being an infant. So that statement rolled over to, I also remember doing kids.
No, so I do remember like when I was probably 1. But it's because I remember being 1 because we used to have this huge ass bed. We lived in Houston, right off Antoine. It was, what was them apartments called? I can't remember what the fuck they called right now. But anyway, they still there. Hood type shit, right? And the bed was like this tall.
Yeah.
So my brother was in the bed, 'cause my brother's older than me, and I fell off the bed.
That's your first memory.
And hit it. Woke like.
You're like, oh, I'm in this house.
Like, it was a dark room. I remember the bed. I'm like, damn, I was like 1 year old though.
Like, whoa.
It's like they say sometimes you have traumatic experience, you remember shit, but I do remember that. Yeah. And I ain't gonna say something else I saw at that time that I remember, but I remember some stuff. So I feel like that's what I remember though. Because it was like you fall off a bed, you hit that ground. It's like, yeah. You here on Earth.
You probably learned how to walk that day.
I was the fastest to learn to walk in my family.
You stand up.
Matter of fact, my mom say she don't know if I crawl.
Yeah, like just say, man, we gonna skip this.
Yeah, potty trained instantly. I'm like, yeah, you just piss in the toilet. Like, what I'm about to take this off.
What are you talking about? What we doing?
But yeah, to your point, man. You got any final thoughts?
What was we saying? I found.
No, we was just talking about we went on a couple tangents, but we just talking about following your heart. The environment, all that type of stuff. We was kind of closing out on that.
Yeah. I was trying to tie it into the last thing. I can't remember what was going on, but and not just what we was talking about, but it was the following your heart. We was giving another example for that.
You was talking about being a baby. So you was talking about like I was a baby and I get you know what you were saying? You were saying you know what to do. Even a baby knows what to do. And then you just start talking about
what was that conversation about?
What?
Even a baby knows what to do.
Well, you were saying that basically, follow your gut. And you're like, even a baby knows.
Yeah, so
then you start.
So I have no sympathy for any of you grown ass motherfuckers who have the most.
Instantly,
nigga. You instantly know how to go to YouTube, spell Mama's House, depending on how you be finding these clips and shit. I have no sympathy. I have absolutely no sympathy for your old ass. And you know exactly what to fucking do. But I do understand the older you get, the harder it is for your hard-headed ass to follow your gut.
Man, I was one of them.
Yeah, it's harder to do it. So start to try to make the habit of following your gut, even if you can go with your first mind. That's why they say go with your first mind, because your mind, you're gonna have 60,000 thoughts. So, man, I think I should outsource. Damn, that shit gonna be hard. Damn, that shit gonna be tough. Damn.
I don't want to extend the episode, but I think thoughts and mind are two different things. But I ain't going into that today.
Go with your first mind. Which I think you can whatever. I think it's the thought to go with the first your gut. Okay, so this is how it goes. Your gut is the first thing that comes to your mind. So typically even infants know, I probably shouldn't touch that. That's the first mind. That's the gut. It's hot. It look hot. Probably shouldn't. But you see what I'm about to do mentally? So you can go down a rabbit hole of the butts and the eyes and the oohs.
How much quicker though?
Yeah.
How much quicker? I don't want them to do it. How much quicker when they pop? Never again.
Yeah.
So same thing. First mind.
If
it doesn't, I don't want to cut off.
It takes a long time to get to the point to where you truly always choose your first mind. You got it's a game. Yeah. So that's my final thoughts. It's just the first thought try to stick with that. It's not easy. Even at my big old age, it's not easy. So, but it's something you gotta focus on it, man. You gotta focus on it. Like, I'm gonna do this. And yes, your mind gonna wander after that, but that's what you said first. So try to focus on it and getting around the environments of people that are willing to do the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing. I'm not playing around about. I'm asking people, like, I'm thinking, I'm around, like, making sure that we understand, like, like we did that before. We be doing that. That gonna get us the same result. You don't. Let me be clear. We want the, like, I'm just making sure that I'm in the correct environment, because it will bleed off into, that's why I'm cutting dry about certain things right now, because I have to get to the next level. It's a part of my story. It's part of the destiny and everything. So my final thoughts is, stay in the game. Right there.
So I'll say this, and I'll keep it as simple as possible, right? You actually don't have to listen to what everything else is saying. You can really listen to yourself. Yes. And our whole life is an exercise, to me, of becoming our own unique individual. Some people never do it. Some people never cross that threshold. We work at it every day, because when you're going through a tough time, it's difficult to listen to yourself. But I can tell you, the quicker you listen to yourself, you're going to get places faster. And all of us are carving this unique path in life. And if you really follow that path, you'll succeed not only in a way that's unique to you, but it's going to be a lot more stress-free for you, because you're always, even if you make a mistake with your own decisions, it still feels better. See, when you make a mistake with somebody else's thinking, it feels bad. And I've seen people I'm sorry to cut you. I've seen people go to their grave with other people's thinking.
I don't think you can make a mistake going with your first gut, even if it didn't work.
What I'm saying,
to teach you something.
What I'm saying, that's my point. Because the fastest way, if you touch the stove, yes, you don't want your baby touching a stove, but if it touches the stove, it will never in its life touch a stove again.
Yeah,
that is way faster than you trying to put 40 different banisters around the stove and stuff. Like, you should put the banisters around the stove. I want to be very clear. But what I'm saying is, you put all this stuff around it. If it touched it, it just never does it again. You are doing the same thing. Instead of just first mind, do it, because what your first mind is, and this is really some deep esoteric shit to me, what your first mind is really doing is leading you down a path to where when you get there, it will be complete. So when you follow your first mind, if it doesn't work, it's going to lead you to the other thing. And you're going to know without a shadow of doubt that this is how you do it. You'll have no doubt. You'll have no fear. There'll be no backtracking, because your first mind said, you need to know this so you'd never do this again. So now we're here.
I think your first mind is God.
It's first mind
in you. It's the algorithm of the universe.
It's why I don't believe people can give you advice of process. That's why I don't believe that somebody can tell you, this is what God said for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what God said for you. You do. You don't need an intermediary to come over and say, this is what it was said. That's just my opinion, though. So when I look at it, that's what the process and the purpose is. All the time, we're trying to find that voice in ourselves. And the people who get an ultimate battle out here in entrepreneurship, what I'm realizing is the people who find that voice, finally listen to it and understand what is process. Hey, you can do this better because it's a website. Hey, your website could have this thing that tracks people so you can optimize it better. Just process. It's just process. But purpose, hey, what should I do in this situation? What do I do to stay motivated? What do I do? You know what to do to stay motivated. If you need to watch videos right now because you need to get confidence from other people, that's fine. We all have done that. We've all turned on other people's videos to get confidence, to feel like, man, this can be done. Watch movies that motivate us. Watch shows that inspire us. I still do that, right? I'm not necessarily watching it for that, but if I see something inspiring in the show, I'm like, oh, that lesson really applies to me. I don't care what it is. But we've all done that. But then at a certain point, you'll cross a threshold where you start believing in your thoughts. You start believing in your reality more than you believe in the external stuff that people are talking about. And that's where the true confidence comes through, where there's no backtracking. And that's really all it is. Tell them what to find you.
Cowboy VVS for Cowboy for the custom jewelry. I'm gonna do it.
The commercial.
Yeah. I'm gonna record my screen real quick. I'm gonna clip this at the end. Country Cowboy with 2 Ys .com for my personal brand. And then I wanna give a quick little rundown. Cowboy VVS Express. When you go to the app, it'll open up like this, and we are active right now. Eventually, you're gonna be able to put your order in here. I'm looking at the owner dashboard, but you can't put your order in here. But essentially, you'll come to the webinar that we do. After the webinar, we'll put your order in the order pipeline like this, and then you'll be able to see your order, track it all the way from start to finish. But other than that, this is Cowboy VVS, the mobile app, and this is how you can find me everywhere. And yeah, let's get it.
Prinston Hicks on everything. PRINSTON HICKS. Make sure that you go get the 10 Commandments to Getting More Customers, the New Customer Bible. It shows you exactly 10 commandments to getting more customers if you're struggling with that in business. That's advice of process. And also make sure you holler this if you want a website, you want an app developed. And more importantly, make sure every Tuesday we go live at 7:30, the 24-hour Empire. All you have to do is comment Empire below, and then I'll make sure somebody sends you a link. Or if you go to my Instagram, PRINSTON HICKS on everything, and you comment Empire below, we'll send you the link to join. And then you'll get on there and we'll show you how to build a business that runs 24/7, optimizes those processes. So you can take this vision, you can take what your gut is telling you and use that to be successful. Maybe your gut is telling you to get something like this. So make sure you go over there and get that, and we'll get you going. We'll get you flowing, and we'll get the game rolling for you. Besides that, that's everything I've got to say. You got anything to say before we get out of here?
Let's get it.
See you next time.
I came up from nothing. Started from the bottom. I see it with a clear eye.
So I hustle.
Mama's house to penthouse. Yeah.